2018 Kia Rio. Here in the land of plenty, where pickups, SUVs, and crossovers generally see the most sales action, Ford's F-Series sold 576,334 units in the first 8 months of 2017 alone. It's easy to forget that the subcompact car segment is still vital. Certainly, from a global perspective, it continues to make sense for automakers to field the competitive small runabout. Take the 2018 Kia Rio. The current model was Kia's best-selling car globally in 2017, almost 450,000 units per Kia. And the new 2018 Rio was redesigned to keep its international popularity strong. The upside is that we profligate Americans get all the benefits of a well-rounded subcompact without having to shoulder the entire cost of development. Highs: solid build, compliant ride, spacious front seat. Lows: manual transmission limited to base trim, dearth of rear legroom, no navigation option. Been counting. The four-door 2018 Rio is offered as a sedan or a hatchback, and it comes as no surprise that Kia figures 70% of buyers in the United States will opt for the sedan. Despite the hatchback's undeniably more attractive proportions. In addition to 3 regular trim levels, L, X, S, and X, the new Rio also can be had as a loaded launch edition that will be available through the 2018 model year. Regardless of trim level, navigation is off the table. Full stop. After years of pushing the tech for the price envelope, Kia has concluded that eliminating factory navigation is an effective way to keep the price within reach of the Rio's ostensibly youthful demographic. The rub is that only the top-tier X and Launch Edition get Apple CarPlay or Android Auto compatibility. The rest of us will be left to our cellular devices, although at this point they're so integrated with the human condition that we suspect few buyers in this segment will mind. Pursuit of fiscal efficiencies also led to the virtual elimination of the Rio's options, the sole extra cost item, as of this writing, being leather upholstery with red accents on the X. Without the ability to add features, Rio shoppers will want to choose their trim level wisely. The base LX, for example, has crank windows and manually adjusted side mirrors, and it rolls on 15-inch steel wheels. Bluetooth, cruise control, a backup camera, a center console armrest, and keyless entry are not available. Starting May 1, 2018, all new cars are required to have a backup camera as standard, so we expect that the LX trim will adopt the feature. The mid-range S trim level does get Bluetooth and a backup camera, but uses rear drum brakes and makes do without a telescopic steering wheel. And visor vanity mirrors, among other minor details. while all three trims are equipped with satellite radio. The LX and S use a tiny 5.0-inch screen, while the top spec X gets a 7.0-inch unit to make the most of the Apple CarPlay/Android Auto hookup. Only the X includes aluminum wheels, a telescoping column, automated emergency braking, a leather-wrapped steering wheel and shifter. But only the upper two models get dedicated tweeters for a total of 6 speakers. Soul power. The minimalist theme continues under the Rio's hood. The same direct-injected 1.6-litre inline 4 used in the previous Rio, and the current base Soul is the only available engine. The Europe Market 2018 Rios we drove earlier featured 3 entirely different engines. Rated at 130 horsepower and 119 pounds-foot of torque, output drops by 8 horsepower and 4 pounds-foot. But what's there arrives at lower RPM. A vague power graph the company produced shows a slight increase of torque at 1500 RPM in comparison with the engine's previous tune. Although both 6-speed manual and 6-speed automatic transmissions are offered, Kia believes only around 5% of buyers will want the Rio own gearbox, and limits its availability to the base LX. For our first exposure to the US spec Rio, Kia had only top-drawer X models on hand. The upside is the overwhelming majority of test vehicles were hatchbacks, which is our preferred version of the Rio for both aesthetic and practical reasons, despite America's peculiar preference for the sedan. Acceleration provided by the 1.6-litre 4-pot, as you might guess, is leisurely. What power there is comes on in linear fashion. Unsurprisingly, for a naturally aspirated engine, and shifts are tuned for comfort. Even under full throttle in sport mode, which alters throttle response and changes shift mapping. The gear swaps are clandestine, with the priority on a smooth handoff. If it weren't for the engine sound, you might think the transmission was CVT. The brake pedal delivers measured response, and better modulation than it probably needs to. Hard braking from 75 miles per hour in the rain revealed a short and drama-free stop, thanks to early intervention of the anti-lock brakes. Sound salvation. Kia claims the new platform reflects a 30% increase in tensile strength over the previous Rio, while we can't verify that claim.